Hello, welcome back to my channel. So I'm making a video after a long time because I was busy in my office works. So today I'm going to explain about the process normally as a DBA, what things or how we process the work. So this will not be a technical video. I'm not going to explain anything technical, but how to work based on the process. So what would be the process, or if you are freshers, like many students who are freshers who they want to go into DBA or apps DBA, so they want to understand what would be the process, how they are going to work. So I'm going to explain about those in this video, that how you are supporting any client or how you are going to work on an EBS apps DBA environment or a normal DBA environment. Okay, so I will be explaining that process, how it works. Okay, so we will be seeing the process. So this is a non-technical session. So normally whenever you are working as a DBA or EBS DBA, EBS DBA is also called as your apps DBA. Okay, so they are the same thing, apps DBA. Okay, so whenever you are working, so you would be working in two things. Either you will be the vendor, so that means you are supporting a client, support a particular client, whichever client you are working, and or in-house where you have your own in-house application and you are not taking any support from any outside companies or consulting companies, but you are supporting yourself, your in-house support. Okay, so that will be your in-house support. So mostly you will work on any of these two platforms. Now let's say we have a organization. So we have a organization here. So this is your XYZ Corp. Okay, this is an XYZ company or corporation which has some business. They might be into manufacturing, retail, any type of business. They might be retail or manufacturing. Okay, now in their infrastructure, what they want, they have lot of businesses. So they might have, let's say I will talk in terms of EBS. So they have implemented an ERP, that is an Oracle EBS system. Okay, so this Oracle ERP has been installed, or let's say it's there, or the XYZ Corp is thinking to implement this system. So because XYZ, the top management or whoever is working, they might not be an IT guys. Okay, they might not be into IT, they might be mostly dealing in the business, they might not be aware of this system. So they have two options: either they develop their own IT or they outsource it. They outsource the particular support for this EBS system. So in this case they will have two options for your in-house support and a particular support client. So normally let's say they go with an outsourcing. So what they will do, they will start looking for vendors or the partners, where vendors or partners. Okay, so these partners are the companies who have these resources, who can work on Oracle EBS system, who can actually go ahead and work on these type of systems. So they will be your partners or the vendors who can implement the system and give you a support. Okay, so they will do some type of bidding or whatever is the process. They will go ahead and finalize a vendor. So this will be a company. So like you have consulting companies in India, so many companies are there. You have Infosys, TCS, Accenture, many companies are there who are giving you these support system. Okay, so they are giving supports to their client. So that is the client for which you are actually working on. So this company, let's say this is an ABC Consulting. Okay, so they have these resources, they have these apps DBA, core DBA resources who will work for this particular client. Okay, so this consulting company will have those resources. So when I say resources, means the persons who have knowledge in EBS DBA, core DBA, or any other support or operations, whatever they want to perform. So they will say, okay, now this contract will go, let's say this particular consulting company. So that means they have decided that for XYZ Corp, this company will be implementing, let's say if it's an implementation project, so they will be implementing and later on if they want to give support. Okay, so it totally depends whether they want to have the same company as the implementation and support, or they only want to get it implemented and later on they will hire some other company to give you support. Okay, some other company to give you support. This company will only implement and install this system and make it ready for the business to use. Once this company has done it, decided, so they will have their resources. So now this company will access these data centers, whatever are the data centers of this company, DCs, servers, and will implement this. So they will have their resources sitting somewhere here, resources, or the DBS you can say. They will be accessing and giving you the support or implementation. So these resources will be providing the support to this particular organization. Okay. On the other hand, if it's an in-house support, so this company decides, okay, I don't want to outsource it because my business is going to be big, I can handle my own IT. So they will start hiring resources and building team. Okay, but this is a little longer and tedious process. Okay, because this consulting, they are into this business, so they are already having those resources, they already have done projects in past, they already have that experience of various case scenarios, so they are more comfortable in doing these type of stuff. Whereas once this company XYZ starts thinking and building those, so they will start building the resources and start supporting them. Okay, so you can work in any of these. So mostly the product based company, if you say the product based companies, whenever you are working for a product based company, so mostly you are doing in-house support. And whenever you are working for any consultings, so you will be giving support to a client. That client would be somewhere in any location across the globe. Okay, so this is how you are working on it. Okay, as an DBA. So this is the normal process. So whenever a DBA is working, so you have to think that you are working for this client. So this application ERP is very important for this particular XYZ Corp. Okay, as a DBA you are just, let's say, managing it, the system, but that's why whenever some system goes down, right, whenever this system goes down, so it's become a critical issue for this company because their business is running on this. If this application goes down and the users that are using that application, they are not able to buy anything for this company, so it will be impacting the business. So as a DBA you have to also think of that your work will be impacting here, this company, this consulting. Okay, so that's why you have to understand that. That's why these SLAs, service level agreement, and other stuffs are being defined there. I hope this is clear. Now going into the same, going further. Now what happens when you are a resource? So whenever you are handling this, okay, so normally how you get work. So some students have asked me that what type of work they get. Okay, what type of work they will get as an DBA, apps DBA. Okay, so there are various. See, if you go to any job portal, you will see lot of profiles. They need lot of different technologies, but the basic set of operations will always be that there would be a ticketing tool that is used for generating tickets, and on those tickets these resources or DBAs will work. Okay, so whether you are on in-house support or whether you are on any specific consulting role, you are going ahead and working on those tickets. Okay, so those tickets will be raised by the users, end users, whoever is using that application, and their tickets will be handled by the DBA. Okay, the DBA will be working on that and fixing those type of issues for that. So ticketing tool is a set of standards. These ticketing tools can be your ServiceNow. Okay, ServiceNow is one tool. BMC Remedy, Ivanti. Okay, these are various type of tools that are available which will be used for raising tickets. Okay, and each ticketing tool or most of these tools are built based on the standards of ITIL. So if you have seen this certification in time, so it has lot of details how this process works, how you have to process those specific stuffs. So I will explain it little bit. So again, I am just explaining the process how you are supporting. Okay, this is not a technical video, but this process you should understand for working in any environment. So every ticketing tool, whenever you work, important things are incidents are raised in that tool, problems are raised, then you have incident, problems, task can be there or task can be inside any incident and problem, changes are there, and requests are there. Okay, so there are different tools, so different tools might have a little bit of variation into these terms, but these are generic terms that you will see most of the places. So incident means any issues that you are seeing, user not able to connect to the particular system, user not able to connect to your database, so they will raise an incident that they are not able to connect. Okay, that incident might not be only DB issue, that might be, let's say, network issue at the user end, user VPN is not connected, user is having some network level issues, or the new system is there which is not configured for as per the organization standards, so they will not be able to connect there. So that issue you have to identify, and it will be routed based on, let's say, DBA team or network team or any server team, whatever is the issue, and based on that. So that is an incident, but a particular incident that is occurring again and again. Okay, that incident is happening, let's say, every time. Let's say after every weekend there is a problem. That means there is a problem in the system. Maybe in weekend some maintenance is happening. After that, there is not proper validation, after which a particular service is not getting started, which is causing this problem again and again after every weekend. So that becomes a problem. So we have to find a proper solution of that why this is happening and what should be the solution of it. Okay, even in once the first time, normally what I prefer, if the first time that incident happens, that time itself, as a DBA, let's say as a DBA, you have to find out why that incident was raised and what can be your takeaway to solve that problem. Okay, solve that problem, so that, or solve that issue, I will not write problem term, solve that issue, so that that shouldn't happen again and again, and that shouldn't become a problem. Then there are requests like you have access request, you want access on some database, some application, you want some specific tool access, so there you have to raise a particular request. And tasks are any set of action items that are defined to work on based on the incident or a problem or a request. So task can be opened and against an incident, against a problem, against a request. So task will be, let's say there is an issue, so whoever is the owing that incident, they might raise a task to a DBA team, to a network team, to a server team to check what is that particular issue, or a request is there. So in request they might have different type of access that are required. So that access, some access will be given by, let's say, Windows team in the same request. Let's say a new employee joins. Okay, so what happens, a request will be sent to Windows team. Let's say server access they want, the server team, or let's say DB access they want, they will go to DB team. So rather than raising different requests, because it's a new joinee, so there would be set of tasks that should be there for that new joinee, so that will be raised as a task inside the request. So but this will vary based on organization to organization and their strategy. Okay, but these are the standard ways. And then the change. Okay, then the changes are, if you want to change any code or any single entity in your live environment. Okay, live means production environment. Okay, in the production environment, if you want to make any such change, any single change, always go through a change. Okay, so that it can be properly documented and properly tested. Because before going to a change, what happens, before going for a change, that particular change would have been tested in your test environments, dev environments. Then once they are successful in these two environments, then only it will be moved to any of these production environments. Okay, so that's why change is there, but it's properly documented that it has been tested in your test environment, dev environment, or if you have QA environments, UAT, user acceptance testing. If they pass in all those stages, then only it will be moved to your production system, because production is a live system. Because if your live system like your Flipkart, Amazon, if that live site goes down, it will be major impact on the business, right? So that's why change has to be properly documented. And once the change is approved, then only it is moved further. Then only it will be moved further to the system. Until unless it is not approved, you shouldn't move. So it can be in approved state, it can be a state of ready of implementation, ready to implement. Okay, so there can be various states depending upon the various tools whichever you are using and whatever terms the organizations are using. So it can be approved or ready for implementation, ready to go. So based on that, it will go ahead and implement it. So these changes are approved in a CAB meeting. Okay, CAB meeting is a change advisory board. Okay, where most of the whoever has filed the change, the developer whoever has filed the change, okay, the developer, managers, IT managers, okay, directors, or whoever is involved. Okay, so that is a group of peoples in that CAB that will see that if this change goes, what will be the impact. And let's say if anyone has any concern or they are not sure that if this change might hamper the whole system, that change can be made or it can be hold. It can be put on hold until unless it is not very much clear and everyone is satisfied that okay, this change will not break the system. Okay, so it will be consisting of various people who will sit and discuss. Okay, so someone will present the change. So whoever has raised the change, let's say if a DBA change is there, that okay, you want to apply a patch, let's say you are a DBA, so you would have raised a change. Now that change will go into this CAB and you have to explain that why this patch is being applied, what was the impact, what was the testing done, what was the testing done in QA, and what will be the fix, what would be the fix, and have you tested the fix that okay, the fix that the patch has provided has successful or not. So once everyone is okay that okay, this patch can go, then only you can go ahead and move a particular code or a patch to the production system. And of course these systems will be taken down based on the off business hours. Okay, off business hours means when there is no business. So mostly there are weekends. So I'm saying mostly, depending upon the environment. So it will be weekends when the main production system goes down for maintenance. I hope this is clear. So normally we don't support to work on emails. Okay, normally we don't work on emails that okay, if someone is sending you email that okay, change my password, create me access, normally that is not the correct process to work. Okay, that is not the correct process to work, that someone is sending you mail to do these tasks. So it should always be tracked under a ticketing tool, whatever things you are doing. Okay, so this is a normal process that how we work in a IT environment or an IT process related to your DBA. Okay, so I hope this was clear. So that was all for this video. Thank you.